forward to talking about your book. We're with Jeffrey.Caminsky, author of a number of books here at the White.Lake.Township.Library local author fair. Jeff, tell me a little bit about yourself as an author.
As an author, I've actually been writing probably for about 25 years. I started noodling around with it even as a kid, but I really started seriously trying to craft some of my writing probably in the 80s. I was working for the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. I had some extra time on my lunch hour, so I trying to compose a book around some of the ideas that I've had for years. As a kid growing up, I always loved science fiction, so I started thinking about a science fiction series, and I eventually crafted the books into a 4-novel series called The Guardians of Peace. And it basically recounts the tale of a bright young officer from the Cosmic Guard who gets a new starship and follow his adventures for the next 3 or 4 books through a series of conflicts with aliens and space pirates and things of that nature. Finally, he winds up returning home, and there's a big climactic battle scene there where he basically comes back just in the nick of time to save his planet from destruction. So it's a fairly exciting series. I had a lot of fun writing it, and I'm really pleased with the way it turned out.
Great. How many books now do you have published?
I have a total of 6 books, 4 science fiction novels, and in addition, my first book was actually a book about soccer officiating called The Referee Survival Guide. And I wrote that because I'm a soccer referee, and there seemed to be a big need for a how-to book for young referees or inexperienced referees. And after I had gotten to be to a certain level, I thought I'd try to share my experiences. And then, just to do something completely different, I wrote a book about Shakespeare's sonnets. I mean, I'd always been interested in Shakespeare. I've always admired him as a writer. I figured that actually trying to write something about all of his plays was way beyond me. But the sonnets struck me as something that I could actually do. So, I spent about 6 months or so doing research and going through a lot of other resource materials to educate myself there, and it turned into a really decent book. I mean, I've actually had some success there. It's being used in a couple of prep schools out east for some of their literature classes, so I'm pretty pleased and proud of the way that one turned out as well.
Thank you so much for joining us.